Hi, we're Richard and Jackie, and we're Early Retirement Wanderlust.
We have been travelling around Arizona for the last few weeks, and we want to show you where we've been more recently, which has been up through Page and across to Monument Valley.
So welcome back to our Arizona adventures. We've had a cracking time over the course of the last few weeks, and we have got hours of footage from where we've been. And because we've been having such a great time, we've just realised that we've been really rubbish at actually talking to the camera and making links. So this is our sort of false way of trying to link it all together.
The first place that we visited was a place called Page. On my bucket list, it was one of the main places I wanted to visit because I'd seen a photograph in Wanderlust magazine. Horseshoe Bend follows the Colorado River round, and the water is really blue. And if you catch it at the right time of day, the photography there is absolutely stunning. And we had such a lovely time there. We did a really great hike down into one of the canyons.
Morning.
Morning. We are in a place called Page, and we have come to see Horseshoe Bend, which is a very iconic Instagram place, and it is absolutely beautiful.
You wouldn't know it, but just round the corner, just by the car park, there are loads of people. But standard exploration, you just go 10 minutes from the car park and suddenly it's emptied out, and it is just beautiful here. I wish I understood the geology of it all, but it just makes for stunning images and awe-inspiring moments.
So we're going to go on a bit of an explore and a bit of a hike. It follows the Colorado River round, so we'll maybe go about 3 or 4 miles round. From Page, we headed up into Monument Valley. It's in Utah, so we went across the border, which is fab. We did have problems, though, driving the Mustang.
Yeah, there was a beautiful scenic drive, but as we were going into the reservation, the lady just suggested that we wouldn't want to take our beautiful car on that rather rough road. But out of every sort of adversity, there's a bit of a blessing because we looked for a walk.
Yeah, and we found the Wildcat Trail. It went round one of the monoliths. I think it was called something Mitten Butte. It was fab. It was a really nice 8K walk around. Lots of nice scenery. We had most of it to ourselves. I think we passed 2 people on the whole of the walk.
And then we had a lovely evening just looking out, watching the sunset, realising that in the desert, as soon as the sun sets, it gets really, really cold. But it was such a beautiful place and so iconic. And yeah, we just had a great time.
The colour of the sunset, there was all the purples and blues. It's like a sunset I'd not ever seen before.
Hi, we've moved on from Page and we had a couple of hours drive across the mountains and we are now in Monument Valley.
Yep, the sky's cleared up again, and the monuments are huge. So we're going on a nice hiking trail. It's called the Wildcat Trail. There are some massive paw prints. They're about half the size of my hand that we keep seeing in all of the sand around. So I'm hoping we don't come across one of the wildcats. Then in the last part of the video, we headed back to Page, which actually we really liked as a town. We wanted to do something called the Antelope Canyons. They're slot canyons formed by the wind and the sand blasting onto the cliffs, and they are amazing. But most people that we've come across said that you really need to do them when it's, one, in the middle of the day, and two, if it's a really nice blue sky day. Otherwise, yes, it's a good experience to walk through them, but the photos wouldn't have been as good as they could have been. So we decided to find another walk.
Yeah, and Antelope Canyon wasn't it. If you are travelling in the area, Antelope Canyon isn't open access. It is on reservation land and you do have to pay a fee to visit that and book in. So we made the decision we were going to visit the Navajo bridges, which was some of the first bridges to be built over the Colorado River. We still at that point hadn't got to the river and we were desperate to actually get down to the river. So All Trails, the app, directed us towards quite an interesting walk.
It was called Cathedral Wash, and I didn't quite get why it was called a wash until we were walking through it. And it basically means that you're walking through a slot canyon that was formed by water, and if it ever rains, the water rushes down there, and it was really, really beautiful and really narrow and deep.
And I think it's fair to say the reviews of the walk didn't really fully prepare us for the steep climbs, the bouldering, the scrambling, but it was really fun. We found our inner child, didn't we, and had a really good play down there, and then eventually got down finally to the Colorado River.
We did. I had a paddle, I dipped my toes in it, and I had a nice beer when we got to the bottom.
So I reckon we're about halfway down Cathedral Wash and it's getting really, really spicy. We've just come down a couple of problems that are not easy to navigate, and apparently in 200 metres or so it gets even steeper. So we'll see. It's a bit of fun, it's a bit of scrambling. It's cool down here when you're out in the sun, and it is just ridiculous.
So the story behind this walk, we seem to have just stumbled upon it. We got to the Holiday Inn where we're staying in Page quite early and we couldn't book in. So we looked on Google Maps where we could go and we were like, oh, there's a bridge that we can go and visit and it's got a trail walk. So we'll head for that.
And then we got stung by a national park charge, and I, being the tight Yorkshire bloke, was not happy at having to pay $30 to get what was seemingly 300-400 yards up the road to park up at the top of this trail. But I've never experienced anything like this.
Yeah, it's quite tricky as well. We've had quite a few bits where we've had to scramble and boulder. It's harder coming down. I don't like going down bouldering, so it'll be easier getting back up.
Go steady.